gentlemen, thank you for tuning in
Soul Connect.
to another episode of the Labor Lounge. We appreciate you. Labor Lounge, that's right, we been working out. All that issue can't talk at work, we can talk about. Labor Lounge. I ain't gonna argue with ya, I'ma hit you with these facts so that you can get the picture. Hey, big man got the plan, professor got the execution, KBC is clutch, holding up the Constitution. Together we combine to bring quality content, good conversation. You don't even know where the time went. So call the pastor, call the deacon, call the good girls or call the heathens. It don't even matter, call them if they breathing. Ain't no excuse for you to be sleeping. Tell them to tune in when it reaches the weekend. Saturday nights at 11 Eastern to where you going? Oh, I'm gonna be over here listening to the Labor Lounge. Them boys, they gon' work it out. All that issue can't talk at work, we can talk about. Labor Lounge. I ain't gonna argue with you, I'ma hit you with these facts so that you can get the picture. Hey.
And we back with another episode of the Labor Lounge. Welcome back to the channel. How y'all doing tonight?
Oh,
my man, you doing it, but I can't hear you. Big Red, how you feel coming back?
doing good, man. I'm glad to be back for sure.
It's been a long time since you've been on the lounge, man. You've been hiding out somewhere.
Mic check.
There we go.
Hey.
Mr. Professor.
We in the building, man. I said, listen, I'm happy to be here. I see we got Big Red over here live and direct, my man.
That's a live and direct.
So the big team.
Yeah. The last time we did this, we wasn't live, but we done upgraded a little bit since the last time.
I see it, man. Good production. I keep my eye out.
My man. So check this out. I just want to be the first one to let y'all know, man, we got our first 1K video just hit. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Big things to small channels.
Hey, man.
But
one step, then the next 2K, and then next thing you know.
For that.
into it. So we gonna start a little light, man. The first thing I want to do is I want to do something that I don't see too much of, right? And we got to get to work tomorrow, so we want to get right into the content. So with all that being said, I do want to recognize somebody who did something pretty amazing. I don't think they got enough light, so let me pull that up real quick so we can share this.
Clickety click, lickety split.
All the clickety click in the world.
We got a boom bap and a bap boom.
All right. So first and foremost, I just want to recognize this young lady. Florida High School of 17 graduates with an 8.07 GPA. Dog, that's amazing, right? This is the type of stuff you don't hear about, but you'll hear about somebody getting shot in the heartbeat.
This is very, very true.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
So let's look at this. A high school valedictorian has graduated with a staggering 8.07 GPA, which is more than double the U.S. average. Jasmine Mazard Larry achieved her academic success at Dr. Kiran C. Patel High School in Tampa, Florida. The 17-year-old who participated in dual enrollment was able to boost her GPA by taking part in advanced placement classes as well as Cambridge Advanced International Certificate of Education program. She also received an associate's degree from local community college alongside her high school diploma. But the student's journey has not been a smooth. That's her right there. Jasmine, who has ADHD and hearing loss, said that she had initially considered her diagnosis as a weakness, telling ABC News. I was a little embarrassed. I didn't really talk about it that much to a lot of people. But she has since realized that it actually helped her build resilience. There are not setbacks, she said. They allowed me to be who I am today. Not only that, but 4 years ago, Jasmine and her family were left homeless after their house burned down in a blaze that left her father seriously injured. Jasmine's mother, um, Nadita Mazard, was 9 months pregnant at the time and credited the youngster as being her rock. Jasmine persevered with her studies nonetheless and achieved a GPA of 8.07 despite the average high school score in America being 3.0 according to Think Impact. So congratulations to this young lady, and we wish you much success. I just wanted to take a minute and recognize
for sure.
Type of stuff we don't hear about.
8.0. That is nuts.
Yo, you have to be shooting. You got to be the best in your class of the advanced class for you to even like get into something like that. You can't achieve 8.0 on a regular basis. You got to be in some academically scholared classes that give you the ability to get that. So shout out to her for just being above average, above average. Like, you know.
Yeah, I agree. And I feel like you like that. I wouldn't expect somebody in her situation to be like 8.0 as far as like, usually in my mind, somebody that has that kind of ability or like that opportunity is somebody who maybe has a little more, I don't know, money in their pocket or something like that. Like the family is more wealthy, but for her to have a house burned down, you know, mom was pregnant, all this stuff that would bring her down and disabilities, and to fight all that and still be 8.0, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's definitely it's not the norm. You're absolutely correct. You know, people who have the luxuries and the comforts and, you know, access to tutors or money for tutors or access to computers or anything like that. And she was dealing with the face of adversity and she still overcame that, you know? So yeah, you definitely make a good point there, Big Red.
So shout out once again to this young lady. We wish you much success. Keep on grinding it out. So again, I just wanted to start it off with a little bit of recognition. I think that's important because we're getting ready to get into some foolishness now.
Yeah. It's good to talk positive before all the negative.
Let's do it. Ratchetivity.
We got to get it positive. Not even ratchetivity just yet. We go start slow and then we'll pick up as time goes, right? But this is the labor lounge, right? So let's get into some retail drama. We got CVS stores and Walgreens stores doing something a little bit different to combat the theft that they got going on. This has been a big topic. It's been going on for quite some time now. And I think it's time that we look at it and let's have this conversation, right? Because the last video we had where we talked about retail losing, I think it was $95 billion. Was that the number? If I'm not correct, on the last show that we had, that's a pretty penny. So let's look at some of the extreme measures that some people are going through. We're going to look at this clip and then we'll come back.
Shopping under lock and key may be the new reality as thieves get away with stealing goods over and over again from stores like CVS and Walgreens. The latter chain debuting a new anti-theft store this week where almost everything is locked up. This is amazing. Customers are only allowed to shop for themselves in 2 of the aisles. The rest of the store, locked up, kiosks. The chain says this new experience is all about technology. They're framing it as very exciting. Here's a quote to a local news affiliate. Walgreens is testing a new experience at this store with new concepts, technologies, and practices to enhance the experiences of our customers and team members. It will continue to offer retail products and pharmacy services just with a new look and feel that focuses on shopping digitally for convenience. Well, even though Walgreens didn't mention anything about the theft problems in that statement, the chain is one of many dealing with a big uptick in shoplifting. Even security guards who try to intervene and stop criminals like this one in New York City are getting arrested themselves. Right, so here is the New York Post cover today, Plunder Lock and Key, about how everything in some of these stores in New York City is locked up, from chocolate to underwear to dish soap and ice cream. And Molly, I love the PR team's attempt at spin here, being like, isn't this all fresh and new and exciting? Everything now is not, except for 2 aisles, is not accessible to customers. I mean, you got to give them props for trying, I guess.
Yeah, I guess you don't want to say our stores are a hellhole where nobody can feel safe and where thieves are running rampant. So you have to go with something else. But it is a little bit insulting to say that all of these things, which are clearly being done because of the rampant crime that's hitting downtowns in major cities across America, is something to be happy about. I mean, it is a decreased quality of experience for the shopper. That's what happens when you have a breakdown of law and order in our society. And it's good if we can all acknowledge that.
Yeah, and
So there you have it. So you hear what they're saying. This is in Chicago, where Walgreens is debuting a store where customers can only shop 2 hours, right? Now, in my experience in retail, that's going to create a lot of headache, right? And I'm going to say the first thing my mind gravitates to when I hear this article is, who's going to be in these stores? Because, again, in a Walgreens, how many associates do you actually have in there, right? So if you have people in there pushing buttons, I need diapers, I need milk, I need this, I need that, and that person has to run back and forth to unlock these things to service that customers. Is this really the best action to take against the theft? We'll start round robin. Red, I'm gonna let you have it first. Go ahead.
Damn. I mean, what blows my mind is the fact that this is what we've come to, right? The fact that people just are willing and have, I don't know why, the sense to walk into a store and go, you know what, I'm just going to take hundreds or thousands of dollars worth of stuff and walk out, and that it is what it is. What bothers me more is that when you try to defend the store, like they were saying, these security guards are getting arrested for trying to prevent the shoplifters. So I know I heard a while back about them signing a bill where like, oh, if it's under $1,000, you can take it or something like that. That's dumb. You're provoking theft at that point. And the people that are trying to stop it, you should be encouraging that, or at least being like, you know, thank you for trying, but don't put yourself in like harm's way. If somebody pulls a gun, like, no, don't do that. Which is kind of, you know, at the last retail store I worked at, it was pretty much just let it happen. If we catch them, we catch them, because you don't want to get hurt. They don't want you being hurt or something happening, you know, under company dollar or time, which I get, but I still think it's absolutely crazy that we've come to this place. Now, as far as the way they're taking it, I don't really think it's a smart idea. Like, I agree with what you're saying, like, to have an employee run around the store to unlock things to help people, even if it's not a busy store, is still frustrating. That's still a job that I wouldn't want to do. I'm sure nobody else really wants to do. And like you were saying, how many people really in Walgreens? I mean, last time I went there was like 2 people actually servicing the store, not including the people in the back. Right. 2 people can't handle that. And what are you going to do? Hire 1 or 2 people just to go unlock things? So now you're losing profit as a company because you're hiring people just to stand around with a key. That doesn't make sense. So yeah, they're in a hard place. And I see what the whole, like, the joke about the PR team. I mean, I agree with them. You can't really be like, oh, our store's stuck and this is just what it is. But there's got to be another solution. You know, maybe do like when COVID, where it was you had to place an order to walk in to get the stuff and not allow people to walk in. Maybe you have to do that. I just don't know. I feel like there's better solutions, but in the light of how much theft there's going, like you said, the number amount is just mind-boggling. They got to do something. So I guess this is just a Band-Aid over a wound that's just bleeding profusely.
You're on mute, brother.
The theft is insane. So the thing about it is, this is just one example in Walgreens. I actually have clips of people doing raids where it's like 20, 30 people running in the stores and they're just grabbing stuff. There's one store, I want to say it was in Atlanta, where a group of people just ran into a store and they left with hundreds of thousands of dollars of merchandise. It was YSL. They ran into a YSL and they grabbed whatever they can grab and ran out, jumped in the cars and peeled off. So the theft is getting a little insane. So if you think about this situation here where they're locking everything up, I think on one hand, they're going to protect the inventory because it's locked up. You can't just walk away with it. But then on the other hand, you're going to have people who just walk out and don't even patronize that store because, boom, it's gone. Right. They don't want to wait. They don't want to waste time.
Right. And then how long is it until somebody comes in with impact tool or something like that, and or a hammer and just smashes these things open? You know what I mean? Like they're probably plastic or glass, or not glass, but you know what I mean.
Plexi.
Plexi. So you can't really just hit it with a hammer and break it, but it's just a lock, right? So come in with the drill, zip, take that whole thing out and walk out. Like, I don't know. Like I said, I feel like there's definitely a better solution, but
there was a video, not a video, sorry. There was I saw one customer. Let me get my thoughts right. There was one video where I saw a customer went in and tried to burn the plexi to get the lock to loosen up so they could snatch it off. So they're going to extreme measures to do it. But let's get Professor's input on this. What you think, boss?
Man, I'm gonna say that I think the problem with this is just bigger than what's at hand. Mm-hmm. First and foremost, let me just say that I think Walgreens' idea is pure laziness, right? Like, I don't think anybody really put any effort to really think about a solution for that that would work all around. But I'm thinking that these situations, the reasons that these things came into play were for stores not handling these situations in the beginning, right? If you told your employees, hey, don't put your life in danger to defend the store, or don't fire them or something like that, they wouldn't have to go ahead and even think about how to protect these people. Big Red mentioned something about a bill that was in place, that they put into place, like for something less than $1,000, I guess just let it go.
Yeah.
Pure laziness, right?
Right.
A lot of these situations are not going ahead and getting the thought power behind it, because what people care about are ROIs, financial gains, and things of that nature. I've had a conversation with Big Man off camera in regards to how some of the stores go ahead and deal with things, like if you're getting less theft than the salary of a security guard, they'll let it ride, because it costs less to let it ride than it does to go ahead and actually address it. And when people are looking at things in the frame of that, we lose the societal balance that we need, right? Yes, I think as a store, you should have the ability to protect your assets, right? But I think that these solutions should be something based that is morally centered, so that you don't degrade the customer into feeling like a criminal, right? Because the majority, in all honesty, right? Big Man says this figure, and he mentioned this figure before, but this figure is combined for everybody, right? So it's not like Walgreens is getting $95 billion in their loss, right? But they are getting a significant amount of loss. Does it warrant them going ahead and making all of their regular customers that go ahead and frequent them and purchase with them faithfully, making them feel like criminals? No. Degrading the buying experience? No. There's definitely a way to get around it. And I'm not gonna, a lot of times when people are for another argument, they'll go ahead and challenge your argument with, well, stop talking about the problem, have a solution. Well, it's not my company. I didn't think about this just yet. But if you give me some time and you pay me to do it, then I'll come up with a better solution than the rest of these people over here. I know that for a fact. It's easier to come up with a better solution. But the thing is, when what you care about outweighs your moral compass, this is the result that you have.
Yeah. And I think too, like, that kind of speaks volumes to the like law enforcement in that area. Like, you guys would rather sign a bill letting people have theft and do theft. Who cares if they aren't going to go $999. Okay, we're good. We can go.
Right.
It's, I'm going to fill up this bag and whatever's in it is in it.
It's coming along.
Right, exactly. I'm just going to swipe a shelf into this bag, What are you
Right.
gonna do? Nothing. You're not literally allowed to do anything. But if you
Crazy.
didn't put that into place and you had law enforcement there to fix it, oh, we don't want to start a riot, we don't want to whatever. But that's why law is there. The law enforcement officers are there to protect the people in the stores, the product that is in the stores too. Like this is all under. So where's that at? I haven't heard anything about. Oh well, if the officers say or whatever, it's oh well, we're just going to let them steal. Oh, now it's too much, so we're going to put it in plastic cases. That just doesn't make sense. And like you
Right.
said, if with better thought process and more time they should have put into it, they probably would have had a better solution. But honestly, this just shows how much things are going to have to go into the digital age sooner than some companies want. Because how many times do you hear of like a Amazon factory getting robbed? You don't, right? Because it's a warehouse. Sometimes you don't even know where they are. Even if you do, they have good security and you have no issues. So I have been hearing that there's certain stores that have been thinking about closing all locations and going solely digital. And one, that's a good and bad thing because you're going to lose, people are going to lose their jobs. And I get it.
Yeah.
Nobody wants that, right? But at the same time, now you're protecting, like Walgreens, they would be protecting their products because it's not on a shelf. It's in a warehouse and then they ship it out. So it's kind of like, it's like a positive and negatives to everything, obviously.
Always. So, when you talk about the law enforcement being there, that's always an easy go-to answer. There needs to be law enforcement, but there's articles out now where you have you have cities who can't even get people to sign on to be police officers. And
that's true.
You have people leaving the force. So the candle's burning on both ends. We can't get people to sign up. We got cops leaving. So this was in Chicago. I know that article I read was over in Seattle when the cops were actually walking away, and even in LA they're walking away. So it seems like this is just going to be a compounding issue until we actually get some real solutions to go around it.
That whole cop walking off thing, there is a dual kind of reality to that, right? Because on one side, you might have somebody who's like, man, I feel helpless or I'm not getting paid enough to do this, right? I could understand that plight. And then you have other people that feel some type of way for being prosecuted when they're actually doing wrong, right? And it's like when you find them doing wrong and the fact that there are more cameras, it's almost like the allure of getting to do what you want to do without having any kind of supervision is no longer there. So cops walking off, I understand what you're saying, but I think there's another problem with that. And I don't know if it has to do with the retail theft, but for the guys that are there, I mean, honestly, that would fall on them because that's what law enforcement does. They enforce the law. That's within their name and their scope of things. So it's like,
if you have nobody there.
I mean, but the expectation is there whether you have somebody there or not, because that's what they're there for. If nobody is there, then you fix the problem, right? We don't go ahead and say, oh, there's nobody there, so we can't have that expectation on them. No, we still have that expectation, get people there. You know what I'm saying?
What you're gonna get, right? And this is just through my experience, what you're gonna get is, okay, so we're losing people, we need people, nobody's recruiting. You're gonna end up putting people in place who aren't ready to be in place, and you're just gonna continue to have more of the same. You're going to have cops who are uneducated out there patrolling the streets, scared to be where they're at, don't understand the cities they're in, and we're going to keep talking about the same things over and over again.
Yeah, that is definitely an aspect.
Yeah, and I know there's some sorry to cut you off. I know there's some cities, one near where we are, that you have to have a bachelor's degree in order to get into becoming a cop, like actually going to school to be a cop. You have to have a bachelor's degree to get there because they don't want just Joe Schmo off the street. They want somebody who has an education, has their life pretty much together in that sense. Now we'll send you to school. Now you'll become a cop. You'll learn the right way to do things, whatever. I had a buddy of mine that was a cop and he tried getting there and he was like,
"Oh, down." I'm sorry, Red. I had
You know what, man? Forget you and forget On the Run Trucking. Talk about don't whoop the dog, bro. Listen, man, the dog is sitting over here playing around. He need to go and lay down. All right, you need to go lay down, dog.
We got animal lovers in here, man. But check it. Let's go ahead. Let's push forward. Let's push forward. Red, did you finish your thought?
Oh, no, that was pretty much it. Just that, some places require education, and I think that's a good thing in a sense. But also in the city, like bigger cities like that, where people maybe that want to be cops don't have the ability to, or like the financial ability to do that, then that could be a hindrance. Maybe the pay scale isn't good either. Like maybe it's just like, look, y'all need to make it more appealing to me as a individual that isn't a cop. Like, look, this is a pay rate, or I can go do this. That's the same pay rate, and I'm not going to be in physical danger.
That's what I was just thinking, right? So you see that pay rate thing, right? I know somebody's always going to push back and say, oh, we don't have the money. Where are we going to get the money for to go ahead and increase their salaries, whatever the case may be, right? But we always find the money to go ahead and pay whenever the lawsuits come. And the lawsuits far exceed any salary of 1, 2, 3, or 4 cops. So what is it? Why do we operate from a backwards mentality instead of paying on the back end? Why don't you pay these guys to be good guys, right? Pay them so that they can be comfortable enough in seeing value in the job and saying, okay, I want to keep this job because I'm getting paid, to do this and put my life on the line. And, people, I'm just telling you like this, man, the root of all things bad is usually lack of money, poverty, right? It usually stems from that. So if you got broke cops out here, they're going to try to do what they do on the low, Then you have gang member cops. They're going ahead and form a little, but that's probably off topic.
but all good conversation, though. So, at the end of the day, we do got a problem, and it's bigger than what we're going to talk about right here. We can all have opinions on it, but the fact of the matter is something needs to be done about it. Because I'm going to be honest with you, if I got to go into a Walgreens, I'm going straight to the pharmacy and leaving because I'm not shopping there because I'm not waiting on the one cashier who has a long line at the front to open up so I can get me some ice cream.
Their prices are too expensive anyway.
Yeah. So with all that being
either that or I got to go in strap.
That part. Trigger Tai Chi, baby. Trigger Tai Chi. Some got text. I got text.
We go push. So we got the next topic coming up, right? We go run into another little segment when I want to call Who Was Right, right? Bam, there it is. You see it on the bottom. We're going to watch this clip. We're going to watch this clip and we're going to come back and try to figure out who was right. Here you go.
Why you can't do no refund?
I asked my manager it was an order from my owner. We can't do no refunds. All we can do is give you the food.
I don't want the food. I don't want to wait. I don't have time to wait on the food again.
Okay.
Okay, so now what do we do?
It's either you get the food remade and you go on about your day and stop yelling at my other manager because that's uncalled for.
What the fuck do you mean you can't give me my money back? Hey, we don't need it for I'm asking. Shit, bro.
What the?
Okay. So they go to question.
Okay.
Who was right?
Okay.
I feel like you want to take this first. Go ahead, jump on it.
He can take
Let's
it.
find
I'm
out
still
who was
processing
right.
that.
If anybody's watching, put in the comments. Let me know what you think. Go ahead.
Yeah,
let
I'm
me
gonna
tell
read
you
comments.
something, man. In all fairness to all sides, the dude was dead wrong taking it that far, but the initial sentiment, I understood where he was coming from, because sometimes these people will go ahead and be dictators about your time and your money, right? Yeah. And I've been to places where I've called up because guess what? I don't want to wait. I don't want to wait, right? Nobody wants to wait. So that's why they got mobile apps. They got, phones. They got everything. So I call in my order. They'll tell me every time. This one place will tell me 10 minutes. And every time I come 10 minutes, they got me waiting. And I'm like, one day I finally said, like, yo, do you say 10 minutes for every order? He was like this. He looked at me dead in my face and said, and gave 0 Fs, bro. Didn't care. And it's like, okay, maybe you should respect people's time so that they're not getting upset, right? Yeah. Now, the level of upset this guy got was out of there. He was tripping, right? I understand his sentiment for being mad because they didn't want to refund his money. They said all they can do is just go ahead and remake his thing. But if you're not happy, you have the right to go ahead and get a refund. I don't care what you're saying about no refunds. You can't just do people dirty and then think that you're going to hold on to their money. If I don't want to patronize a place, I don't have to patronize a place. That's part of holding the establishment accountable. Because once you get my money, if you think that I don't have any right to what I get as the food, and then now you're going to hold my money hostage, now we got a problem, right? You're going to have way more of these situations than not. You could do your part as a company to de-escalate those types of situations, right? Don't tell him what he's going to do and what he's not going to do and how he's going to talk to people and stuff like that. Anywhere that you go to, if they're trying to de-escalate a situation, what you're not going to do is talk to somebody about their actions. You're going to try to de-escalate the situation organically and say, all right, sir, let's go ahead and see what we can do so we can get you, talk to me, right? If you want to talk to me, don't talk to them. They have nothing to do with it. Let's go ahead and talk to see how we can get somewhere. But don't say, you're not going to do this, because once you start giving demands, it becomes a whole different situation. And you start trying to take a command about it, and you're going to get somebody upset because now you're trying to push this kind of faux authority. Yeah. And, that's my thought process on that, man.
Yeah. And I'll agree with you. So like I've worked in a couple, restaurants and food industry, whatever. Mm-hmm. One thing I have definitely taken from it is when you place an order online, on the phone, whatever. Well, actually, I'll ask this as a question first. If you place an order, like you place your order and they say 10 minutes, right? Let's say they told you, hey, the food will be ready in 10 minutes. So in your head, you go, I'll give them 15.
Right.
You get there and the food was ready at exactly 10 minutes, but now it's 15. You go to get the food. Hey, the food's cold. Now I want you to remake that food.
That's ridiculous.
Right. And I've had that happen. I worked at a pizza place, and generally speaking, if somebody put an online order, when you come in, they say, hey, I'm here to pick up. Most of the stuff, like if it's a large pie, it takes a while. So they'd like either be in the process of making it or already have it doughed out, ready to go. And then they would just put it in the oven. Hey, it's going to be like 10 minutes. All right, 10 minutes, but it's coming fresh. All right, fine. I'd rather wait 10 minutes and know it's fresh. But we've had people that would say, hey, I'm going to be there in 10 minutes. And we made, like, let's say a sandwich or like a hot sub.
Right.
Like a chicken parm. The one I'm thinking of, it was a chicken parm. We made it, had it ready in a box, ready to go. The customer came 20 minutes, grabbed it, pulled it out, like bare hand out. This is freezing. I want this or another one or a refund. And she got another one. So now she has 2 sandwiches for the price of one and walked out. We just lost a whole sandwich worth, which at that restaurant was like $15 for a sub. Yikes. So like, I get it. And even as a person, just as a person that's ordered food and been like, yo, come on, man, like wings, like, why is it going to take me so long to get some wings? But at the same time, it's like there's a positive and negative to it. I agree with you. He took that way the wrong way, but how long was he there? Like, he probably started off nice. Hey, my stuff's wrong. I don't want to wait. Can I just get a refund? And maybe that girl, maybe the manager that was standing next to him could have come out and had some kind of tone and was like, nah. And that sets him off. People get set off very easily. I get it.
Right.
And I agree with you in the fact that it's my money. I give you the money. If I don't like the service, then I should get it back. But you can't really call the cops on that because how long is it going to take a cop to get there? By then, the new food is already done. Then the cop's going to go, oh, well, here's your food. Take it.
That's the thing, though. You know, the feel that you have after that. I don't want to patronize this food. I'm not going to enjoy this food because my experience has been ruined, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, the weird part is this: they're willing to make him all new food, right? But isn't that the same price as a refund? You're still losing money either way you look at it, right?
Actually, you're probably moving double the money because now you're using food and throwing out the old food.
Yeah. So, you know, in my thought process, it probably in this situation would have been better to just give him his little refund and call it a day, because you lost all that and he got upset and threw all this stuff through there. Not to validate anything he did. He was wrong in the entirety when it came to the physicality of things.
Yeah,
but
I agree with that.
But at the end of the day, when you're thinking about how this could have been de-escalated, that's another thought process too. If you're willing to give new food, you might as well just go ahead and give them the refund, man.
Right. Or communication, you know.
Yeah.
It could be something as simple as when he called and made the order, let's just say like he wanted X, Y, and Z, and the person that took the call was like, oh, okay, he wants X, Y, but Z was the wrong thing.
Right.
Read it back. You wanted this, this, and this. Yeah, that's right. Great. Then you won't have the issue. If they were just like, okay, come pick it up, and he gets it, he's like, yo, I wanted yellow instead of red or whatever. Now we have an issue. If you communicate, it all starts with the communication. The first interaction with the customer is where, you know, it makes a big difference.
Facts.
So
I think everybody's making valid points, right? I don't think the way it ended was the way it should have went, so I'm going to say he was wrong there. But the one piece that I didn't hear, I guess you guys touched on it. That manager or whoever that lady was that says he spoke to the manager, the moment she said, "You're going to stop yelling at my employees,"
yeah, he said that. Yeah,
I said that.
It went south. It went south. Now, again, some of these people, when you work for companies, you're at the wheel of the machine. Sometimes you can't do a refund, especially if you pay with like a credit card, debit card. That money don't go back right away. We take it quicker than we give it back, right?
Oh, yeah.
There's been situations to where it's like, oh, yeah, it's going to take 24 to 48 hours to go back. But hold up, you took it right away. Yeah, well, there's no... And these are real situations that you go through. So I don't understand what exactly happened in the situation with this customer and this gentleman, or excuse me, between that cashier and this gentleman. But it seems like she couldn't give him the refund the way that he wanted to. He didn't want to wait for the food. She should have gave him the money back. I mean, he should have got a refund. How that happens, I don't know. But when she said, "You're going to stop yelling at my other employee," you went wrong.
You took it there.
Any customer is going to react to that statement. Now, the average customer probably won't throw the register through the window.
Right.
But everybody's going to react like, who the heck you think you talking to when I gave you my money and I'm the one feeling wrong? So
yeah,
I get it. I understand. And there's an art to de-escalating situation. And I'm going to say the cashier messed up on this. Both of them were wrong, but the cashier could have de-escalated that a little bit better.
I knew it was about to go down when he hiked those pants up. As soon as he did the pants hike, I've seen that one too many times.
You know that's the universal sign for it. Yo, what's up? Yeah, especially in Florida, because usually what happens is when they pull it up, then it's coming up like this.
Yeah, yeah, we getting it, bro. That was my high school. All throughout high school, leg pants up. Oh, it's about to be a fight.
Yeah.
The person that hiked his pants up like that couldn't fight no way. I'll just keep it a buck. But let's get some of these comments.
They did have a funky set. I ain't even gonna lie. You know, there was a lot of dudes in Florida that be fighting like this, and I'm like, what's this? And what's this? You know, or what's the? I'm like,
oh my god, yeah.
I was just trying to figure it out because I was from up top. Yo, my set was wow. You know, and it was hold your guard and go ahead and swing, man. Pivot, hold your hips, watch the shoulders. Pay attention to where it's going, you know, and look at the eyes.
Yep.
But, you know, what do I know?
That's wild. All right,
Conor McGregor.
I wanted to try to get some of these comments in here. Let me see if I can
Yeah.
get that in. So we have Livia Nelson. She said he did too much for a Wingstop.
I hear you, sis.
I agree. That's what $12-13, bro. Vibe up, man. Just go. You left without the money
Right.
anyway.
Big facts.
All right. We got who's this? Monique Maximilian. What they say?
If no refund, at least the store credit.
So I can use it at another location. There's
When
many
did that
ways to
person put that there?
de-escalate the situation.
Yo,
It could have been a multitude of ways, but this person said, "You're not gonna yell at my associate." Yeah, all right.
That's the trigger for sure.
She thought she really was gonna get tough. Yep, yo, and that thing, first class flight to the floor, through the window, like everything, bro. Everything.
All right, so we gonna keep pushing forward, man. We having good conversation. So let me get this. Let me get us squared away. So we have an incident here before we get to the main event. This is gonna be the one before the main event. We have an incident that happened, and y'all know road rage is a big thing, right? So let's look at this clip, and we're gonna come back and talk about it. I'm not gonna give you too much intro. Let's just look at it, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna talk about it.
A scary and dangerous situation at the corner of West 104th and Madison Avenue. Watch this. Police say that's the real Cromedy. He can be seen shooting at another car. The 34-year-old doesn't seem to care who is around because at that exact moment, 3 children were also at the corner riding their bikes.
104 Madison, 3 shots heard.
But what led up to him pulling out a gun? Cromedy was on West 104th Street coming up to Madison Avenue. At the intersection, a second car turned in front of him, and police say Cromedy honked his horn and started swearing at the driver. The other driver then stops, opens the door, leans out, and points at Cromedy. That's when this gets completely out of control.
Silverado with a lawnmower in the back of it was involved.
Cromedy reaches in his truck, grabs a gun. As the driver is pulling away, police say Cromedy fired 5 shots. Listen to this. Cromedy is not even allowed to have a gun or ammunition after being convicted for felonious assault and attempted felonious assault.
Jeez.
I love it.
Did he hit the car?
I love it. So one of the things
you're muted.
No, Professor, you good. He was talking to me.
I thought I was sitting over here looking for my mute button, man. Like, have me tripping, bro.
Nah.
But one of the things that was said, he's not even allowed to have a gun. He's not even allowed to have a gun, right?
Yeah, he's got a gun and ammo.
But that's easy. I'm not surprised. Right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Realistically, I say this because everybody sees these things, and the first thing that they go to is, oh, we need stricter gun laws. We need gun laws. We need this, that, the third. We need people to go ahead and do this and that and everything with the guns. It doesn't matter what you do for gun law. Criminals don't follow the law. So when you make gun laws stricter, you make them stricter for the law-abiding citizen, right? Yeah. This is wild and egregious. This is nuts. This dude has problems. You understand? These are the people that skate through life, and a simple situation can happen or a disagreement, and this guy will raise up and be like, what you gonna do about it? Right? Like out of nowhere. And everybody's like, whoa. And then the girl is like, yo, he's crazy. Don't talk to him. Just don't say nothing. And they go away. They leave that guy to his own, cognizance or whatever the case may be. But nobody ever addresses these things, right? These are people with unchecked anger issues that go ahead and keep moving forward, because you got to think about it. Something has to be off for you to think it's okay for you to grab your Glock. go back like this, bro. You're not even shooting forward. You're looking backward to go ahead and shoot, to go ahead and do this and then take off. You a coward. You a coward. Because you shot and you like you didn't even want no smoke. Why'd you even you were trying to scare him, I guess? Because the person got mad at you, or you guys had an exchange? Man, let me tell you something. I carry regularly, but I don't say things to people on the road anymore. I don't say things to people on the road anymore. I don't, you know how we used to feel comfortable to go ahead and put the window down and look at somebody and be like, yo, what the hell are you doing, yo? You could have killed me, man. Learn how to drive. Yeah, F you. And then go ahead and leave off. You can't do those no more. You can't even look at somebody wild crazy anymore. I had an experience over here in GA. I was driving my little old beater work truck, and this work van, I guess, last minute jumped out like right here. And I guess he thought the car in front of me was going to keep going, but they stopped short. So when they stopped short, he stopped short, and I had to stand on my brakes, right? In a Ranger. Jeez. I had to stand on a 2-wheel drive Ranger. I didn't even have 4-wheel drive. You know what I'm saying? So it's like no 4-wheel disc brakes, no nothing. I'm just putting all my weight on it. And I barely stopped like within an inch of his bumper. So I'm hot. My heart's pumping through my chest, bro. It's like a near intense experience, man. And I'm just, all the levels are going. So the guy moves over and I go ahead and move. I'm like, yo, what the hell were you thinking, bro? You just cut me off. He said, what? What you want to do, boy? I'll fight you. Pull over. I'm like, wait a minute. You wrong, though. But you want to fight me? He said, matter of fact, get in front of me. So I said, oh, yeah? He said, yeah. So I got in front of him. I thought that was the end of it. I got my little spot back. I'm happy, right? I'm good. Let me go. Nah, buddy started following me. So I was on my way to my man's crib. And I was like, yo, I'm thinking ahead of, I'm not going to go ahead and take this guy to my man's crib, right? So I'm like, yo, let me go ahead and detour. So I detoured to the gas station and I pulled my blicky out and I had it on my lap. Something happened, some kind of divine intervention, and homeboy pulled a U-turn. Because if he pulled into that gas station, that would have been the last gas station he ever pulled into. So, yo, I'm just saying, it's a wild mentality out here. Even though I carry, people have to have the mentality to go with the actual responsibility of having a weapon, right? You can't think, now I got a gun, now, yeah, nobody gonna mess with me. People who think like that should be analyzed, right? Because if you need a gun to make you feel confident, you don't got it. Because as soon as I take your gun, I take all your confidence, right? Yeah. Like you don't really have confidence. You got confidence because you have this. But it's just sad because people have that mentality, and it's a sick mentality. You shouldn't feel like that. You shouldn't feel like, now I got my blicky, nobody can mess with me. No, I feel like, yo, I got my blicky, now I could go ahead and protect myself and make sure I don't get into trouble. I could protect those around me. I could protect my loved ones. I could protect my home, because really and truly, like I've said on every show, I don't have the want to actually pull this out and use it. I go to the range. I use it all the time. I'm a good shot. So it's like, yo, I don't need to go ahead and have this bravado or this unchecked anger and stuff like that. Mental health is another thing that goes ahead and corroborates in it, but I'm gonna leave some space here so you guys could cook, man.
Go ahead, Ray.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. I mean, I don't own a gun. I just haven't had the opportunity to get one, but doesn't mean I won't. I will. I have no problem with guns. For me, I'm like I said, it's time and place. Right now, not the time, not the place. Especially with two little ones. I've heard way too many stories of, well, we're not going to talk about it, but there's some sad stuff that happens.
Crazy stuff.
So, yeah. With that being said, though, I mean, I agree with you. There's no reason, unless like I just can't think of any reason that I would have to need to pull my gun out to shoot, unless I was being shot at. Obviously, self-defense. You know, he shot at me, or like somebody's coming at me with the gun raised. Then self-defense, I might, if I have to. If I can't run, then yeah, fine. But that kind of situation, the guy cut me off. Hey man, what the hell? Honk, whatever. Say your piece. Drive away. And the fact that there is little kids sitting there.
That's wild. Those
like,
poor girls.
What about if he went to go pull the gun out and turn? That girl was right next to his truck. What about if he shot and hit her instead? Or if there was kids down the street we couldn't see down the street. What about the kid playing down the street and the stray bullet hit? Like, it is not worth it. Not at all. Like, I agree with what you're saying. And like, there needs to be maybe better screenings, or I don't know. I just don't understand why it has to come to that, you know.
So I don't think anything that anybody is saying is wrong, right? But I'm going to ask this question. What do y'all think about the car who was making the left turn down the road, what they did?
Yeah, you know, that's
handled that situation.
That's another aspect as well. And I didn't touch on that because I wanted to let y'all cook. But really and truly, there was faults on both sides, but there's only one person that could have took a life, right? The person who initiated or appeared to have initiated it, because I'm not sure what occurred. He was turning in and the guy was going out hot and he almost hit him. So he must have honked at him. And somebody said, man, I ain't see you and your big whatever, or whatever.
So let me ask this question real quick while I got that quick breath. In that situation, who has the right of way?
Well, the person who's actually moving has the right of way. The one that's turning onto there, because this person came to the stop, right?
Yeah.
So what happens is there's a stop sign here, and this side appears that there's no traffic light, appears like there's no sign. So you have continuous here. So if you have to come into traffic, you have to wait, and you have to wait for the appropriate time. These people have the right of way. So technically speaking, that guy turning, the reason he stopped was because he was technically right, but stepping out your car to talk to somebody about it these days, it may not be the best of ideas.
And that's my thought process, right? You know, you guys mentioned the kids. We mentioned, you know, the mental health piece of it, not having the want to use a pistol. But here's what boils down to. That car that was making that left turn, had they just kept moving, that situation would have stopped. Now, I'm not putting fault on it, but what I'm saying is you have to have some kind of mental fortitude. You know how many times people honk at me for whatever reason, whether justified or not. They do it. I'm not getting out my car to poke my head back to address them honking their horn. I'm just going to casually keep it moving. And there's a reason for that. And I'm going to take us back to a story. Okay. So in my young scalavanting days, I remember we went to this little pool.
Scalavanting.
Yeah, man. I went to this.
You a scallywag, bro.
It was me, my cousin Beezy, and then I had my boy Hans in the back. So we're going to side pockets, we're there. We're leaving, coming home. As we're driving home, there's this car tailgating us. Now, I see the car. I'm not tripping. It's back there. I'm not stressing. Now, my boy in the back seat, he decides, why is this car tailgating us? He want to be super thug. So we get to a stoplight. I got to make a left turn. The car pulls up on the side of us. He opens the door. Why the hell you tailgating us, man? Look, I'll get out the car and I'll beat you. You know what, right?
Yeah.
The guy didn't say nothing. He was just staring. My boy in the back put his foot out the car like he was going to get out. The first thing that dude in that car said was, come on then. And he reached down like this, right?
Ooh, he had the ooh out. Oh, that man had the ooh out, bro.
I'm going to tell you like this. If he wouldn't have got his foot back in that car, he would have got left because I ran the red light and everything. I was out of here. I'm not catching no lead for you. So what I'm saying is that road rage situation. Okay, he's tailgating. I didn't get into no accident. By me stepping out the car, I put myself in danger because the moment I approach somebody else, I'm the threat.
Right. You're now instigating.
That's
No,
my
but
situation.
let me. You know me, I like to go ahead and be the devil's advocate, gray area guy, right? Addressing somebody is not faulty, right? You should have the ability to go ahead and have a conversation with somebody. Where it goes after that, when you start putting feet out the car, that is the violation, okay? Because at this point, you're approaching me, you're encroaching me, you are accosting me, right? So at this point, it becomes a whole different dynamic. But for me to have words with you, it's not a crime. You could go ahead and say, watch where you're going. You could go ahead and say, stop going that fast. You can go ahead and say, chill out, right? But it's because of the unlevel response that you're getting that makes it a bad idea these days, right? But the simple act should not be demonized, right? Me saying chill the fudge out should be something that is not criminalized. I should be able to go ahead and tell you to calm down in some type of manner, right? Now, some people go ahead and get creative with their linguistics and it becomes an issue, right? Because somebody might want to be like the cashier and exert their authority. You're not going to drive like that in front of me, bucko. You know, I say some crazy stuff like that, whatever. But the simple addressing of people is not the problem. In that scenario, the big man was talking about, it was the feet coming out the car. That was the issue. It was the door being open.
That's when it starts to get real.
So when my man, when he saw that, he didn't say anything until he saw that. Come on with it. He was gonna hit you with that English. He was gonna get you that polish, boy.
So I think we all agree, right?
Yeah.
Well, at least on the last point I was making, that car that was making that left turn could have kept moving and everything would have been good.
Well,
the gunshots wouldn't have came out, but ultimately the gunshots are wrong. So I'm not even justifying that. I just wanted to make that point. So now y'all ready? Y'all having a good time? Y'all feel good?
I mean,
let's get into the main event.
Is it too soon?
Too soon for what?
Because I just made the gunshot sounds.
Oh yeah, too soon. So let's get into the main event, right? We got my boy Kodak Black in the news today, right? I'm gonna pull this clip up, but we're gonna talk over it because the fact is I can't play music. So let's just look at this and let me give you the synopsis of what's going on. So Kodak Black has done a track with your boy Tekashi 6ix9ine. And as you know, this can cause a lot of... my bad.
Oh, backflip. Yeah.
Do it. So Kodak Black has done a track with Tekashi 6ix9ine. The track is called Shakalaka. And on this track, the rumor on the street is Kodak actually dissed 6ix9ine on the track that he was recording on. It was two lines in the track where people saying he dissed him, right? Referencing 6ix9ine as a rat. Now, with that being said, on one of the lines, he was actually supporting 6ix9ine because 6ix9ine supposedly took somebody's girlfriend from them. And he was telling the other guy, how did you lose your girl to a rat? And then in the other line, he said he's so fly that he has a rat giving him cheese. Those are the two lines that people are talking about that Kodak dissed 6ix9ine on this track that they did. Now, I got an article I'm going to show with us because the other piece to this is Kodak also got paid $1 million to do this feature. Let me say that again. Kodak Black got paid $1 million to do this feature. That's a lot of money. And not only was he paid $1 million, he was given a Rolls Royce after he did what he was supposed to do. So let's get into this.
We'll take a Rolls Royce.
He got both. He didn't get an either or situation.
Oh.
So here we go.
I'll
Kodak Black received a Rolls Royce in cash for 6ix9ine collab, says Whack 100. If you know, Whack 100 is a Clubhouse. He's the man on Clubhouse. Kodak Black recent collaboration with 6ix9ine reportedly netted him a luxury vehicle and a sizable sum of cash. According to hip hop manager Wack 100, Kodak was coaxed into appearing on a song with the controversial rapper with a whole lot of money, which he received as a down payment for the feature. After finalizing paperwork and scheduling a date for Kodak to record in the studio, Wack reveals the super gang rapper appeared hours later than expected, so it was fully game for the collaborative effort. Never on time. It was supposed to be like 8 o'clock. I seen Kodak by 1 a.m., he said during a recent appearance on No Jumper podcast on Sunday, July 23rd. Some things are worth waiting on. Kodak pulled up with his girl, his kid, and fire in his eyes. Clubhouse mainstay says that prior to laying down music, Kodak and 6ix9ine had a man-to-man conversation to express their respective position. Wack also claims to have gifted the Florida rapper keys to a Rolls Royce after completing the feature titled Shakalaka. And then right before Kodak left, we kept it gangster. Wack revealed he came in a black car and he left in a Rolls Royce. Tossed him the keys, told him to go home. He put his baby seat in the back. He jumped in the driver's seat. He put his driver in the passenger seat, his queen in the back, and I jumped on the freeway with him. So there you have it. Kodak Black was given a lump sum of money, and he was given a Rolls Royce to do this song with Tekashi 6ix9ine, who is always controversial. So I guess we get into this. I'm going to ask you guys this question, and Professor, you probably going to be an expert on this. Would you have done the feature with Tekashi 6ix9ine, being as controversial as he is, for a lump sum of money, not knowing that a Rolls Royce would come your way? Go ahead, the floor is yours.
Would the Professor do this? Yes. I would rippity rap my butt off for $1 million.
For $1 million.
Yo, I would be rapping till next week straight. Yo, Game had like a track called 300 Bars of Running. Mine would just be like, yo, he's still going. Like, it would just be like, yo, it's crazy. But I think the real important question is more about Kodak Black. Kodak Black is not me. Kodak Black has a lot more money than I do. Kodak Black has a lot more clout than I do.
Right.
He's in a way different position. Now, if I was Kodak Black, no, because my reputation and the rest of all of these people looking at me, right? That's not a good look. Like you taking this money, and people really don't understand how serious this whole rat thing is, right? Like we could say, oh, that's in the past, that's this, that. Yo, Tekashi's been untouchable from the time that he's come out, like of jail. He's been completely untouchable. People have been saying, nah, I ain't gonna do a track with him. Even Gunna. And Gunna was a whole different situation with an Alfred's plea, but hey, guess what? The streets, they don't have no discernment against that. If you go ahead and implicate anybody in any type of fashion, whether it's direct or indirect, you a snitch. So, especially in this industry, if I was Kodak, I don't need the Millie. He's got M's, according to him, right? If I were to go ahead and do a quick search and say, you know what, let me find out Kodak Black's net worth. So Kodak Black's net worth is $5 million, right? Now for a rapper, that probably would be low, but I think for who Kodak Black is, and I think that's, I don't know. I can't call it, right? I don't know, but you're not suffering. You got 5 of those things. I know we always want more money, but at the rate of what? Yeah. What are you going to do this for? Right? Are you going to, is it going to be lucrative past this? Because it's a very risky move career-wise especially when you're hitting the hip hop industry, to go ahead and do something like that. You know what I mean? Like you wilding, you tripping. Like, yo, your career is not even suffering. Kodak Black's career is popping right now. It's not like he's fading out or anything like that. Nah, he's like,
he's relevant.
I hate to say this, but he's like the younger generation's Trick Daddy. You know, Trick Daddy wasn't going anywhere. He was super relevant in Florida still to this day. You know, he's a staple there. So I think that Kodak Black has the same type of clout in that fashion. And I don't think he really needed to do it. I wouldn't have done it if I was him. But me being a professor, I'd be 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, yo, we snitching, we coming through with these itches. Yeah, I would have been over there rapping my little butt off, bro. Professor wise, that would have been me. I would have been rapping my butt off, son. I would have been saying, I'd have rapped in another language if you asked me to. For a rolling.
So you're saying if you're established, you wouldn't have done it, but because you're a professor, you would have did it.
Yeah, because, you know, really and truly, and I'm not, and I say this with jest, right? But I'm saying for the average normal person, I'm not going to put I can't call your situation, right? I'm not desperate, right? I you know, but other people might be desperate. So they might go and be like, oh, yo, wait, I'm going in, I'm doing it, right? And maybe that's desperate is a not even a good word, but some people are opportunists, right? And when you don't have the money, I can't judge you for taking that type of opportunity because that's life-changing money for you. But when you do have it, an extra M on top of 5, I think you'll be okay with the 5 and the respect that you'll get in the industry, as well as your successful career that you could go ahead and blossom into 15, 20, 30 M's.
Yeah. So I can't talk. I can't watch that man pockets, but I know he do also got court cases going on too. And you know those things get expensive. So he paying lawyer fees, court fees, and all kind of stuff. So an extra M can go a long way.
That's his fault.
Could. And
yo, the dude.
I'm not talking about fault. All I'm saying is who knows what that M could go towards. That's all I'm saying. Now, with all that being said, so Kodak did the track. He got the M for doing it. That's what they said. Now he's also getting backlash too. So let's read this piece of it, and then we go keep talking about it. The Super Gremlin rapper has received backlash for his decision to work with 6ix9ine, as Boosie Badass has voiced his disappointment over the record. That ninja yak F me up. That Baton Rouge native said in the clip on social media, I wonder how all them Zoes feel.
Yeah.
Dog, I know them Zoes effed up right now.
Yeah.
He continued to blast Kodak, questioning his street credibility and accusing him of letting down his hometown.
Yeah.
I know the state of Florida effed up right now. This ninja ain't got no morals.
No morals.
Got no principle. Damn. Thought that little ninja wasn't like that, bro. Ninja ain't no street ninja at all. Damn, F me up. He also scoffed at the thought of Kodak defense being that the collaboration was merely based on a fiscal decision before concluding his tirade. Ninja hurt me with that one. F me up. Don't care how much money you give. Listen to 6ix9ine Shakalaka featuring Kodak Black and Yalen Ma's Viral Below. I'm not going to listen to it, but that's the backlash he's getting, and that's coming from Boosie, the man himself.
Yeah,
so,
man.
Do you think the backlash is warranted?
Warranted is not the necessary word for me, right?
Is it deserving?
No. That's the same thing. But what I'm saying is the aspect I'm going to speak upon is it was expected, right? So you knew what you were getting into. So do I feel bad that you're getting backlash? No. I'm not going to say that anybody deserves any level of social berating that anybody is going to put upon people, right? Like that's crazy. Like to say that you deserve to have people, come in your inbox and talk wild to you. That's a hard thing for me to validate. But is it expected? Yeah. Is it a surprise? Yeah. No. You
in
knew
that
what was going to
situation.
happen, bro. So at the end of the day, take your lashings, bro. You know, because it's you can't say you didn't know. You made it off of the fiscal decision. You took that risk, right? So now be accountable for it. You got to pay $1 million. So now let's see how far this $1 million goes. After all of this stuff goes ahead and starts to unfold, who knows, man?
So do you think street credibility is worth more than $1 million? $1 million?
When it depends on what game you're in, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, really and truly, if we're talking about me and my little, civilian self, no, my street credibility doesn't go far. You know what I'm saying? Right? But if you're talking about professor on a track and I'm supposed to be representing this as a particular way, I'm snipe the gang, bro. We don't snitch, bro. We about that streets like, you know what I'm saying? Zo this, zo that. You're looking crazy right now. Whether you say it was for money or not, you're going to find out real quick how that affects you. Because and he saw it happen to Tekashi. Like we literally watched it unfold in this lifetime, this century, years with recently. So it's not like you can't say, oh, this is a thing of the past. Look at Alpo. He snitched. He was out. Yeah. My man got caught up after he got, when the space and opportunity was there. Anybody who's a snitch gets dealt with, right? Yeah. Is it a guarantee? No, not necessarily. But at the same time, it's a high likelihood. And do you want to be on that type of alert? Nah. I don't want to go ahead and be watching my back every time that I go to sleep or go to the store, or my baby moms or this, that, and the third. They're addressing her as a snitch in the street. His mom is going to go ahead and be getting addressed with that too, right? And it's also going to be in a different culture because guess what? Boosie, I know Boosie is looked at as one of those dudes who is like the old dude that be going off the deep end sometimes, right? But one thing that he said that was pretty accurate is, I know them Zoes are effed up right now. Yo, real Zoes are definitely effed up right now. They're looking at it like, yo, what's going on? You get what I'm saying? Like, nah, man, how you gonna rep that? You gonna be on that ZB, but you really in Creole they say hot. Okay, you are hot, yo. These people are rats. Like you can't. C'est suito, yeah. Like, yo, it's a mouse that you are, bro.
You have to translate, man. I don't know.
I just said it. I said it's a mouse that you are. Sweet, right? So it's man. Haitian people ain't playing that. Not Haitian people. Zoes ain't playing that. Active.
But Kodak has nothing to do with what that man had going on. Kodak has nothing to do with what he had going on prior.
No, he has everything to do with his affiliation. He has everything to do with how he's trying to further him because he knows what that does. Kodak is being seen, right? So when you put this guy who's supposed to be an outsider with this guy on the inside, you're trying to take in a rat. You're accountable for that. You're vouching for him. No, you tripping. Yeah. It's not about the stuff that happened before. 6ix9ine has already been labeled. So at that point, yeah, you're right. Kodak has nothing to do with that. But once you decide to interact and conduct business with a rat, now you're looked at. You remember they said, show you, you're only as good as the people that you keep. It's the same thing. Your group of circle of friends and who you have around you is gonna go ahead and determine how people look at you, right? So that's why you can't have no cornball rolling with you, yo. You can't have no bum rolling with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, what we look like? Did we ever take any bums along with us? No. I'm talking to Big Man. Big Man know what I'm talking about, man. I'm serious. Like, did we ever take any bums with us going places with us?
No, we had no bums, but you had people who were weaker members of the group. So this is what
but that's always a thing like that. You have weaker members of the group, but
that's because we never got cased up, right? Because I remember in high tense situations, I had people who stood strong even when they was the ones most likely to break. So what I'm getting at is, and we're kind of veering off. All I'm saying is the man has nothing to do with what Tekashi got going on. There's $1 million on the line. I got to go spit 12, 14, or 16 balls, and I'm walking away with $1 million.
Did you address what I said with the interaction? I'm not talking about everything before. You said he has nothing to do with what Tekashi got going on, and I agree with you. So that's a moot point now. Now we got to move on to the interaction. Now your involvement and your furthering. How do you feel about that? You're furthering Tekashi along. Tell me.
Bro, Tekashi paying me $1 million to do 16
so you're okay with furthering him along?
Why not? I'm walking away with my meal plus royalty.
Man. Okay, yo, Haitians, go ahead and address Big Man over here at Labor Lounge podcast. Okay, c'est un râtelier. Foot sourit.
Hey, listen, I know people ain't worried about that. All I'm saying is this, right? I think it's too. This is why I'm a civilian. Okay, this is why I'm a civilian and I'm not in that lifestyle, because business is business, right? If you want me to drop 12, 14, 16 balls, I can care less about what you got going on as long as I don't get jammed up in it. That's just my thought process. It just seems like for somebody to walk away from $1 million, and we don't know this man's pocketbook, but he probably need that $1 million for something. I can't call it. And that $5 million that Google talking about, that could be more or less. Google ain't accurate. We know that.
I'll tell you it's more.
Could be.
Because, you know, there's only so much that people report. There's other things people have, endorsements and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, Kodak is not hungry for paper right now. Okay? Now his court cases that he went ahead and got, that's on him, man. You know, deal with your court cases, do what you gotta do, man. But at the end of the day, a dude who's gotten a presidential pardon is not gonna get no sympathy from me.
Okay, well, we're gonna end that right there. You're right. So, with all that being said, Red, you want to chime in on this?
I mean, you know, I guess like from somebody that, you know, was in music for a long time and stuff like that. It's hard. Like I kind of agree with what Big Man said. Like, as a civilian, $1 million, it's $1 million, right? Like, that's money in the bank. The Rolls Royce, I would have sold it, but you know, that's.
I think you did.
I would have too, honestly. I mean, what do I need a Rolls Royce for? But besides the point, that's money in the bank that I could use for furthering myself, right? That's one hand. On the other hand, if I was an artist that was established and had a reputation and whatever, would I want to have somebody with that reputation on my back now because I put a feature there? I don't know. That's a hard one because on one hand, you have the ability to, like the professor's saying, further his career or maybe bring his career back because your name is on that label or on that, you know, song, that feature. And maybe that one song goes platinum just because my name's on it. You know what I mean? Now, okay, well, 6ix9ine, he's a good artist. Like, let's listen to him more. Boom, now he's back up in the light. But on the other hand, what happens to me? What happens to maybe the next time I put out an album and I'm like, hey, so-and-so, why don't you come do a feature? And they're like, nah, you went and helped 6ix9ine. I don't like that.
Yeah.
So now my career starts tanking because I help somebody who in the past is known as a rat. That's the hard part. That would take a lot of soul searching for me personally. Did he do the right thing? And dissing him on his own album, even if I don't like you, to diss you on your own album, that's pretty disrespectful. Like, I could have beef with you, like, but to diss you on your own album is kind of like, all right. He
did diss him on his own track, and I don't even know if we really spoke about that. He did diss him on the track, but the track that actually dropped didn't have the disses on it, right?
Right.
The clip that we were just looking at that didn't have the sound, it played the track that was released and what the track really was or originally was. So it could be taken as disrespect, but it could just be taken as bars because
it's also validation, right?
It's like hey, I recognize what we're doing.
Yeah, you know, I got the money, but I called him a snitch on his own record. I'm a G. I called him a snitch to his face. Nah, bro, you don't get no points for that, bro. Like the fact that you went and did the business, you wow.
Right.
You got,
and that's the thing too, is like I think the whole thing is a lot of the backlash is how can you jump on my record, diss me, now I got to take it off. Like this is I paid you $1 million and a Rolls Royce to come and lay down some sick bars, and you diss me in that, like
Well, let's just be 100% clear, right?
Like just call Big Red. I'll lay down some bars.
Let me do this. I'm gonna end the Tekashi thing, right? And I'm gonna end it right here where I say, you know what? I understand what Professor was saying. If my money is my reputation is my money when I'm somebody like Kodak, right?
Yeah, when you're
I have a reputation to maintain, so how I move forward is gonna dictate. But once I do this track with Tekashi 6ix9ine, all that's gonna be impacted because likely people are not going to mess with me no more because I'm associated with somebody who messes up my credit. I get it. I understand it.
Yeah.
But I'm a civilian. Listen, 16 balls for an M, that seems like a hard decision to walk away from, but I'm not in that lifestyle, so I understand.
Yeah.
But also on the other side,
now, come on, man. Come on with it, bro. I feel it. I feel the BS about to come. Come on with it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to let it go, bro, let it go, bro.
Just $1 million is $1 million, bro. For somebody who ain't had it, they go take that money. And I know Boosie said some things you just can't pay for. Now, you ain't paying me for everything. Don't get me twisted. But what I'm getting at is I can understand how you could be put in a position to take that $1 million. And I'm going to leave it right there. But I'm done.
Prostitute.
Let me ask something too.
Damn prostitute. Okay, just go ahead and say it.
All right, I'm not no prostitute, bro. My drinks were taken. I got a salary.
Now let me ask something. I'm gonna ask y'all something.
What's up, Big Red?
Now, what about, and just kind of like to flip it a little bit, what about if you're an up and coming artist, right?
Mm.
And he's like, look, okay, we'll keep the mill minus the Rolls Royce. He's only given a Rolls Royce because he's Kodak, right? Mm-hmm. So let's just say he's like, look, I think you're really good, whatever. I'll give you $1 million if you lay down some bars. As an up and coming artist, not as somebody who's known, who has that label already, but as somebody who's trying to get into the biz, and you're offered $1 million, and you're like, look, this is somebody, he's a known rapper, so I'm almost guaranteed to be heard at least by a portion of people. Maybe not the best on my back in the beginning, but at least get myself out there. Would you take it?
Good risk. It's a great risk. It's a great risk, right? Because as an up and coming rapper, right, you're gonna be associated with this dude. You'll have a feature on his album, right? At that point in time, you could never go ahead and associate yourself with him and just go ahead and come out on your own as whatever, and use the publicity that you got just to get on the map, right?
Right.
They didn't know you, but now they know you.
You were
right.
You were a nobody.
So, and somebody asks you about it, it'd be like, yo, the dude was hot right then and there, and he put me in the face of people, right? But Kodak doesn't have those excuses or alleys to go to move towards because he's known already. But another person going ahead and using somebody who has their platform to go ahead and get where they need to get, that's good business. Their platform by that's excellent business. Right. That's prime business. So it's like, they say something where there's no bad publicity, right? Even in a bad whatever press, you're still getting press. So when you're talking about somebody who's a up and coming rapper and you're nice, you better rap your little patootie off, bro. You better go ahead and rippity rap the butt cheeks off of you, so that when people hear you, they like, yo, who's this cat doing this thing with 6ix9ine? Yo, I hope this dude ain't gonna be doing future track. Yo, I don't know about him. Then do your own album, do your own features, separate yourself, take your clout, and keep it moving.
Yep.
Don't ever go back that way.
Right. And you never know. The next person that can bring you up, it could be Kodak, or it could be a bigger artist like Lil. I like what you did with 6ix9ine. You sound good. You can lay down some good bars. How about you go this?
Yo,
Now you have the
because
positive publicity.
Somebody is going to find you that's going to be like, yo, your bars are fire. Let me get you away from over there.
Right. Yeah. They're going to bring you into something better.
All right. So check this out real quick. Let's make a YouTube short. We at 124.37, right? We got 60 seconds. Red, how old are you?
30. Just turned 30.
Okay. Pro, hottest girl in the 90s versus Red's generation. Who's the hottest girl in the 90s? Your high school crush. Let's call it.
In the 90s, crush. Yo, you know, one of
Shakira.
Was probably Tatiana Ali, and from the Fresh Prince.
Tatiana Ali.
Yeah.
Red, who was your high school crush? Celebrity crush.
Shakira.
It was Shakira.
We win.
Back
we win.
then?
Yeah.
We win. We win all day, bro. 90s for the win.
Oh man.
Woo! Whatever.
I'm gonna tell you an interesting conversation. Who from the 2000s in the 90s? Who in the 2000s can compete with the women of the 90s? Celebrities. I'm talking about the people you came home from school, you turned on the TV, you was like, oh my God, yeah. Woo, woo, woo.
But see, when I was young, it was more cartoons. Like you had like Fresh Prince and stuff. And you had That's So Raven. Raven was kind of cute back then, but
she was super cute back then. And then all of a sudden she got social media, and then it was just like it was a wrap.
Yeah. There was a couple. Hannah Montana when she first started. Now she's just whatever. But when she first started, she wasn't bad. But there wasn't
even on my radar. Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
Yeah,
it's a different generation.
Right, it was a different generation. We had less live TV and more cartoons.
I'll tell you who was fire back in the 90s and even is fire now and can shut down majority of the women, even in her old age. Tracee Ellis Ross. Lord Jesus, that lady ages so well. So well. Just so
There's
well.
at least one more I'm trying to think of.
My mama told me, if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all.
So what? You ain't got nothing nice to say about Tracee Ellis Ross? You crazy.
Well, it's been a great show tonight, guys.
Labor Lounge Podcast at gmail.com. Attention, big man. Big man.
Listen, she's a hell of an actor. I watched her shows, but nah.
Actress. Put some respect on her name. Actress.
Bro. Actress, I'm sorry. As an actress, she does her thing, but I'm going to just go ahead and let y'all have it. But it's been a good show tonight, man. I appreciate y'all for coming out. Big Red, you had a good time?
Always, man.
Yes,
I did want to, before we close, I want to put a little plug. I'm going to be starting a podcast.
Hold on, wait. You ain't hit my cash out, bro.
I am.
Hit my cash out.
Go ahead. Hurry up, Big Red. Hurry up.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, soon I will be doing my own podcast. Not like this one, more focused, of course, on cars, because Big Red's Garage. I'll let y'all know, and I'll let the professor know. But it'll be coming soon. I'm excited about it. It should be cool. Not like a bat with big man of the professor. You know, can't touch them. They're too good.
Nah, my man, Big Red guy.
We learn something every day, man. But look, good luck on the new journey. Only the advice I'm going to give you: just keep going. Just keep going. Hey, make the mistake and keep pushing, because at the end of the day, nothing was given to anybody, bro. You got to go out there and take it. So,
like Professor rapping on the Tekashi track, keep going.
Yeah, dog.
Keep going.
Even if you gotta call Tekashi, be like, "Yo, I'll work with you."
I'll give you a Red's Garage. That'd be hot though. They would definitely tune in, and then you gonna have to start dropping bars on Big Red's Garage, bro.
Yeah. But yeah, I want you to know the 90s did win. Hannah Montana cannot compete with the ladies of the 90s.
I agree.
Wild Things came out in the 90s. I just want you to know that.
In other news,
you got another side to say.
Listen, but wait. I'm gonna say this too. It seems like a lot of our 90s people went crazy because Stacey Dash used to have it too, and I don't know what happened to him. I don't know
I
what
can't
happened.
believe DMX died.
I don't know what happened.
DMX
It's
died.
like-
Why didn't anybody tell me?
I think
just
DMX
don't
was
know
one of my
what happened.
first albums I've ever bought.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Congratulations
DMX was
to
one of
you.
the first rap albums I ever.
What was the name of the
artist I
album?
bought. Oh, I don't remember, dude. That was
And
literally
then there
back-
was
respect
Ed,
the album.
Flesh of my flesh, blood of my blood.
It's
middle
dark
school,
and hell is
elementary
hot,
school.
man.
It's dark and hell is hot. Yeah.
I gotta find it. I gotta find
I
it.
wish
again.
I could play music, bro, because he got a track that.
Yeah.
Don't go too much. You don't want to get copyright. You know what I'm saying?
1 2 1 2. What you gonna do? Yeah, I know what you're talking about already, bro. That's my sound, bro. Stop playing with me, man. You got me hyped.
Man. Hey, listen, I
about
gotta
to go
go
listen
to
to
work
DMX
tomorrow,
right
man.
now.
I can't. Yes, that's what I'm gonna do because we can't put it online. But check this out. I appreciate y'all for coming out, man. We gonna be back next week Sunday, Labor Lounge Live. I appreciate y'all for rocking with us, and until next time, we out.